you a serious question. Have you ever woken up and thought to yourself, why do I always feel this way? Not sad, not depressed, just this quiet tiredness that you can't even explain. Most of the time, it's not because your life is falling apart. It's because of small habits that look harmless, but they are slowly draining your joy without you even realizing. Today, we are breaking down 7 habits that are secretly making you miserable and the simple fixes that can actually help you transform your life. The first habit is always comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the fastest way to feel inadequate. In fact, we all know that comparison is the thief of joy. It is like drinking poison in small doses. You don't feel it immediately, but every sip you take a little bit of your confidence away from you. You open Instagram, you see someone your age traveling, building houses, winning, soft lifing, and meanwhile, you're just trying to get through your week. And this suddenly makes you feel like you're not enough, like you're inadequate or inferior. This secretly hurts you because you are measuring your life by someone else's edited version of theirs. Why does this make you miserable? You measure yourself with someone else's highlight reel. You ignore your own growth. You attach your own worth to external validation. How do you fix this? The first thing is to limit comparison triggers. Mute accounts that make you feel small, that make you feel not enough. 2. Practice a daily self-check. What did I improve today, even if it's small? 3. Replace comparison with inspiration. When you see someone doing well, instead of feeling less, say to yourself, if they can do it, that means it's possible for me too. These little changes will help you protect your peace, save your mental health, and even help you work towards uplifting yourself. The second habit is always saying yes when you should say no. People pleasing feels like kindness, but many times it is fear wearing a friendly mask. Fear of disappointing people, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being sensed as too much. For example, you are tired and you want to rest, and someone asks you for a quick favor, and you say yes. Then you immediately start feeling irritated and angry for saying yes. I need you to understand that every yes that goes against your energy is a no to yourself. This makes you miserable because 1. You abandon your own needs. 2. Your emotional bandwidth gets depleted. 3. You become frustrated without understanding why. So how do you fix this? The first thing is to start with soft boundaries. Saying things like, I would love to, but I can't right now. The world won't collapse, neither will it come to an end. And anyone who gets angry that you're taking care of yourself was probably using you to begin with. The second thing is give yourself permission to disappoint people. Never pick anyone above yourself. Prioritize yourself, your peace, and your space above what someone will think about you or the perception that someone might have about you. The third thing is protect your time like it is money, because it is. The third habit is overthinking everything. Overthinking tricks you into believe that you're being responsible, but what it actually does is freezes your progress. It's like running on a treadmill. You are moving, you are tired, you're sweating, but you're not going anywhere. For example, you want to send one email, post one video, or maybe even start a new routine, but you find yourself thinking about every possible outcome until you end up doing nothing. This makes life difficult for you because your brain keeps trying to protect you from problems that doesn't even exist. This makes you miserable because 1. You replay scenarios that haven't even happened. 2. You increase your anxiety levels from a 0 to 100. 3. You sabotage your own momentum. How do you fix this? The first thing is to follow the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. The second thing is to practice acting before thinking. Not recklessly though, but decisively. The third thing is when your brain starts spiraling, ask yourself, what is the next small step I can take? First habit is only allowing yourself to rest when everything is done. Here's the truth, everything will never be done. There will always be more things waiting for you. So if you are waiting for everything to be done and perfect before you rest, you will never rest. For example, you cook, you walk, you clean, you run errands, and when it's time for you to rest, you are even too tired to even enjoy. And this is a problem because you are resetting your brain to perceive rest as something that you have to deserve, as something that you have to earn, like a reward. And that's not what rest is. Rest is a requirement. It's a necessity that you have to do. Why does this make you miserable? 1. You operate from guilt instead of balance. 2. You never experience real rest. 3. Your brain stays in survival mode. Here's how you can fix this. Schedule rest like an appointment, like a meeting that you cannot miss. Take micro rest, 10 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. Celebrate small wins. Teach your brain that rest is allowed, not a reward. The fifth habit is avoiding tough conversation. Avoiding issues doesn't make them go away, it only buries them. And buried things, they always grow. It might feel easier to avoid tough conversations in a moment, but it always leads to long-term emotional pain. For example, avoiding a friend who hurt you just because you want to avoid drama instead of addressing it. That small act can make resentment to slowly build up. You need to understand that silence creates distance and resentment builds quietly, and this can cause a lot of stress in your health. This makes you miserable because 1. It makes problem piles up. 2. You bottle up so much negative emotions. 3. You feel disconnected from people. Now, how do you fix this? The first thing is to use I feel statements instead of accusations. For example, I feel hurt when, I'm confused about, I want us to fix this. The second thing is focus on solutions, not blame. It's not about winning, it's about understanding. The sixth habit is constantly distracting yourself. A lot of people think that they are busy, but what they are actually doing is avoiding stillness. We live in a world where silence feels scary and uncomfortable. So we fill every empty second with noise. TikTok, music, scrolling, texting, movies. For example, you can't eat without your phone. You can't shower without music. You can't even sit in silence without feeling restless. Now, why does this make you feel miserable? 1. You never hear your own thoughts. 2. You lose self-awareness. 3. Your attention span collapses. How can you fix this? First thing is to try 5 minutes of intentional silence daily. Second thing is to practice doing one thing at a time. The third thing is to learn to enjoy boredom. Creativity grows from stillness, and your brain needs quiet the same way that your body needs water. Seventh habit is expecting instant results. We live in a generation where when something doesn't work out immediately, we start to assume that we are the problems. If we don't get fast results, we start getting weary and then we give up. For example, you exercise for 1 week, you don't see any changes and then you quit. You start a small side hustle, you see low traction and then you start thinking that you are failing and then you quit. You post content, you experience low views and then you stop trying. You try something new, it doesn't blow up instantly and then you start feeling like you're wasting your life and then you quit. You don't plant a seed today and expect it to grow today or in 1 week or in 1 month in fact. You have to water it, groom it, nurture, prune, and then you wait patiently for harvest. When you don't have patience to see things through, it makes you miserable because 1. You constantly feel like you are behind. 2. You never experience growth long enough to see results. 3. You underestimate yourself. Now, how do you fix this? The first thing is focus on identity. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who creates systems to make things work. The second thing, track progress weekly and not daily. The third thing is reward consistency more than result or outcome. Process grows quietly before it becomes visible. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to feel happier. Just removing these 7 habits creates space. Space for peace, joy, creativity, confidence, clarity, and direction. Happiness isn't built in one big moment. It is built in tiny decisions that you make every day. If today's video helped you, do me one favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.